guys, it's SEUNOKIMI and welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be showing you guys how to trim your own natural hair by yourself. Trimming in general is something that's helpful, especially if you have natural hair, in the way your hair behaves. Aside from the fact that it may look more even, it also just makes caring for your natural hair easier because you won't be experiencing tangling at the ends and a lot of just problems occurring, especially at the ends of your hair. You know that it's time, if you start getting more tangling more at the end of your hair, that you're feeling more resistance at the end of your hair, ends of your hair. And this is just because when your ends become more even, especially if you have curlier, tightly coiled hair, there's more chances for the uneven ends and split ends to like intertwine with each other and just cause tangling and tangle up on each other. So trimming is the best way to reduce that frustration of getting all of these like tangles at the ends of your hair. I went to go get some scissors from Sally's. This is like a really important point. You want to get real cutting scissors for hair. Don't trim your hair with like some random scissors that is in your room that you use to cut up boxes and stuff. That's kind of dull. Your cuts won't be as sharp and you may not actually realize that you're not getting the best, most even cut. These cut a lot sharper to prevent those ends from like coming cut in a frayed way that just kind of defeats the purpose of trimming. Today I am actually going to be blowing out my hair, but you don't need to blow out your hair to trim it. I just happen, the style that I want to do next is a blowout, but you can also just trim it without using any heat or anything. So I'm going to show you.
So now my hair right now is fresh out of the shower. It's still wet. We're going to go in sections starting with this first piece. And I'd also like to thank the sponsor of today's video, which is Care Of. If you've never heard of Care Of, it's a vitamin subscription service where essentially you take a quiz and then it personalizes daily vitamins specific to you. So there's like less guesswork in finding out what vitamins could be helpful in you sticking to a whole self-care routine. As we're doing our hair, it's also good to take care of ourselves internally. So I take probiotics for gut health, iron to keep my iron levels up, and also vitamin D. Vitamin D, many Black women, including myself, actually tend to get deficient in vitamin D because a lot of us don't get enough of it from the sun, and vitamin D does play a role in hair loss, as does iron deficiencies. So it's all helpful in just making sure that I am getting in the right levels of all of the different things I need. So if you'd also like to try out these personalized daily vitamins, you can go to takecareof.com and take their quiz to find out what could be good for you specifically. And you can use my code SEUNOKIMI for 50% off your first order. So yeah, the link will be down in the description box below.
So I just untwisted that section. The key to trimming your hair as evenly as possible by yourself without using heat is to work on damp hair and then use a brush to make it lay completely evenly. My Tangle to use a brush, and I'll link the scissors and everything below too if you want to use the same ones.
And I also already have leave-in in my hair. My hair is fully wet with leave-in so that I can easily run the brush through to make sure that all of my hair fibers are perfectly aligned so that whenever I'm cutting, I know that I'm actually cutting it correctly to where all of my hair are pulled out symmetrically.
So my ends actually don't look too bad. It's actually been a year since I did a trim, but that also goes into determining how long you should wait in between your trims. It's gonna differ very greatly between person to person because it depends on how, essentially, it depends on how much you're manipulating your hair. If you're manipulating your hair more often, your ends are gonna get uneven a little bit more sooner just because you'll be experiencing a little bit more breakage. But if you're someone who you don't really manipulate your hair too much, or you're a little bit more gentle with your hair, you won't need to trim as often. So never go by like a set time period, like, okay, as a person with natural 4C hair, I need to trim my hair every 3 months, or I need to trim my hair every 6 months, or because you see me trimming my hair after a year, you only need to trim your hair after a year. You need to judge it based on your own self. About right now is when I've started to see a little bit more knotting at the ends of my hair, and I haven't been seeing that in any of the months leading up to now. So today was when I decided that, okay, I want to do a trim, but it's only because I noticed that, okay, I'm experiencing a little bit more knotting. My twists, whenever I twist them, they aren't as blunt in some of them. So I'm like, okay, I want to do a trim. So you should always judge based on your own hair rather than going based on a strict timeline. This can be every month for you. This can be longer for you. So you're just gonna smooth your hair out all the way to the ends. Okay, my ends here at the back of my head look good. I feel like I probably just needed to trim more at the top of my head. So maybe this isn't the very best example. At the front of my head, because I put more manipulation on the front of my hair, whenever I'm styling, my ends will be a little bit more uneven there. So yeah, manipulation, like I said before, plays a big part in like how often you'll need trimming. So I'll show you guys that, but let me just show you quickly how I'm just gonna dust off these ends, even though there's actually really no need to here at the back, but we're here, so I might as well. I smooth it all the way down, and because this section doesn't really need that much trimming, I'm gonna go very close. I hope you guys could see that. So that was like a centimeter.
And that section was half of one twist, so I'm going throughout and just untwisting each twist and going in sections that are about that big. And also, it's important that you are making sure that you're holding your hair parallel to your scalp so that you can be cutting your hair evenly across, because if you hold it down like this way, you'll be holding it to where parts of your hair will be hanging a little bit lower, so you won't be cutting it completely straight. I'm going for just an even all across cut.
Straight across. Like that, so it's perfectly even. Twisting this back up, I'm gonna be blowing out my hair, so you'll see the progress, and then I'm gonna move up closer to the front of my hair for you guys to see like a difference, because I feel like the back of my hair didn't really need trimming that much, but I'm still gonna trim all of my hair.
And as you can tell, I'm trimming it first, and then I'm proceeding to blow out my hair for the style I wanted to do on that day. But I'm able to still trim my hair in its natural state first. See, right now my hair hasn't been blown out yet. It's just wet with leave-in, and I'm able to brush it out, smooth it, and cut it flat in its natural state just because I'm doing it while it's wet. So you don't need to blow out or straighten your hair first to do this.
Can see that is a little bit more straggly, and you can customize this based on your own hair. So if your hair starts to be more straggly a little bit higher up, definitely you can cut it like higher up if you need to. I'm just going all the way until it starts to look a little bit uneven, which is a little bit closer to the ends, like the very ends. But if you need to cut up a little bit higher, if it's been a while since you trimmed, like a long while, then it's okay to go up higher too. And I'm just going to cut straight across, just like that. Even now, as I'm trying to detangle it, this front section of my head has been the hardest to detangle, just because the ends knot up so much easier whenever they aren't as even. Like, I'll detangle it and then it'll become tangled again. This is what I'm talking about. If you want to start with the part of your hair that needs the most trimming, if I decide that the best would be 1/2 inch, then you could use that to determine how to cut the rest of your hair. So even if the back didn't need as much trimming, you could cut it also 1/2 inch just to keep all of your hair even. I am still gonna cut this one a little bit more than I did at the back, just because this section of my hair annoys me. Either it'll become shorter by breaking off, or you just cut it right now and prevent it from breaking off to where it'll become up here because of all tangles that will eventually form and you ripping out your hair in the process of trying to detangle your hair. Honestly, I'll divide this one into two because this piece is a lot shorter. Okay, I cut off quite a bit. That's like 3/4 of an inch. It's already made such a difference in how the comb runs through my hair. So it's still quite a bit compared to the back of my head. So now I'm going to finish blowing out the rest of my hair. And if you want to see that, that'll be a separate video of how I blow dry to get it be stretched and blow it out. So it's like two completely different heads of hair whenever my hair is shrunken versus stretched. But yeah, as you can see, trimming your hair by yourself isn't that difficult, and you don't need to straighten your hair before you trim it. You can definitely straighten your hair whenever you want to do like a cut, to where if you wear your hair straight most of the time and you just want to make your hair even whenever it's straight, you can do that. But if you want to trim your hair for the sake of preventing tangling at the end and preventing knotting at the end, it's definitely something that you can do at home by yourself. So yeah, I hope that this helped you, and in the future helps you also prevent breakage so that you can retain more length or do whatever you want to do with your hair. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.